So hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another video, and in this one I want to talk about the stat changes for Warlords of Draenor. So in Warlords of Draenor, Blizzard is getting rid of hit, expertise, dodge and parry. Hit and expertise I can understand. You need your hit cap, you need your expertise cap, and it leads to situations where people just have way too much hit or way too much expertise and they can't do anything with it, and basically they're losing on other stats because of that. Dodge and parry, they're not very reliable. There's a lot of RNG, but getting rid of them entirely seems kind of weird, but I'm sure they have their reasons. Now we're gonna lose these 4 stats, but we're gonna get lifesteal, avoidance, sturdiness, speed, and cleave. These are the 5 stats we know so far. So lifesteal does what you would expect it to do. You hit a dude and you get some life back. Avoidance will reduce the damage taken from AoE attacks. If an item has sturdiness, it will take no durability damage. Speed will increase your movement speeds, and cleave will increase your AoE damage. And to be honest, these new stats sound a lot cooler than the old stats. Ooh, hit and expertise. You can actually hit things. You can dodge things, you can parry things. But now, you can make a build for leveling where you have a lot of lifesteal and a lot of cleave or a lot of speed, and I think it will make builds more flexible. Even though there's that tiny voice in my head saying it will come down to mathematics. Okay, it will be about you, calculator, and trying out all the different stats and picking up the best stats. But that's me. I am an endgame raider, and you know, if something works, I'm gonna use it. But for the general player base, this will make builds more flexible in my opinion, which is good, because right now we don't have flexibility. You have a rogue, you pick a spec, and that's it. Certain specs scale a lot better with certain stats, and there is not an awful lot of choice. Oh, you're a feral druid, you need mastery, and then you can get some crit. And that's about it, which is boring. And with all that good stuff out of the way, let's talk about something I'm not very happy with. And we don't know if this reaches the live servers, but Blizzard is thinking about it. They want to change the way stats are distributed on items. We have no idea if this will affect only the primary stats or the secondary stats, or if they actually do this at all. So the idea is, they give an example of a prot paladin having strength on his gear, but when he switches to holy, this strength will change to intellect. So basically you would just loot a plate helmet instead of plate helmet with strength and all these other stats. You will just loot a plate helmet, and depending on your spec, these stats will change to suit you. Now this would be okay if it only affected the primary stats. That would be fine, because you don't have to carry, I'm a druid, okay? I have a balance gear, I have resto gear, I have my guardian gear that I then need to reforge to feral if I want to. So I basically have 3 sets of gear in my bank on my character. So that would make it much easier, but if it also changes the secondary stats, that will just streamline the builds into basically one build. Everyone's gonna be the same, and that is very dangerous, Blizzard. You need to be careful about that. People want to be unique. And that's all the bad stuff. Let's talk about more good stuff. So the item Squish is coming. So they give us an example of a mage with item level 530. So as soon as you enter Draenor, you can expect your health to drop to 30,000, your intellect to 1,100, and your fireball will be hitting for around 2,200 damage, which in my opinion is a good change. Next interesting thing is Blizzard wants to change the way haste interacts with dots. So instead of having breakpoints, oh, you get another tick if you have this much haste, you will have something called partial tick. So if you have slightly more haste, it will just give you a partial tick that ticks for less, but it's still additional tick. And it will not change the way haste interacts with your casting speed. Next, Reforging is gone. It's just gone. And they're doing this because it felt like it was getting way too expensive to manage your gear, which is true. Okay, last week I got 2 new items in Siege of Orgrimmar, and I had to pay 5,000 gold to reforge my gear to get new gems and to get new enchants. So it was getting, or it is getting, quite expensive. Enchanting will change. You will have less items to enchant, but you will have more enchantments for those items. So once again, flexibility. And jewel crafting and gemming in general will change as well. You will have less gems, and they're getting rid of socket bonuses, so you can basically pick and choose which gems you want, which once again promotes flexibility. That's good. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Maybe you've learned something new. If you did, give me a like. It feeds my babies, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.